Snapchat and rumbling. Fuck, shake your tits and swing your dicks. It's another frigid Friday, fuckers, and January's here. Frost is in the air, and to get you through it all, here's another nipple-popping episode of your favorite internet sensation with Libation Friday Wrap-Up. Before we get today's show kicked off, I want to tip my hat to today's libation. Yes, this is a trifecta, the third and final Christmas bottle that I got. This one, I saved the best for last. This is Basil Hayden's Dark Rye. A buddy of mine gave me this because he knows I do love a good rye. I know I'm mostly a bourbon guy, but from time to time, I like my scotches and I like my ryes. Now, rye, basically, it's all whiskey, right? Rye is basically just has a higher content. It's brewed, distilled with a higher rye mash bill. That's all. So it's got more rye in the mix, which gives it a nice dry taste. But this one, this is a special edition. It's the dark rye. It's blended with, this is a Kentucky rye. Basil Hayden's is a very high-end company. It's blended Kentucky rye. Well, let me back it up a second. You would think I was fucking knocking through this bottle, right? So it's Kentucky rye blended with Canadian rye. And then it's aged in casks that used to have port wine in it. It gives it this nice dark color and a beautiful fucking finish. So as I lose to drink up and be somebody. Oh, ooh, that is smooth. That is fucking smooth. What is the proof on this? 40% alcohol, so it's 80 proof. This is good stuff, dangerous. That would make a delightful Manhattan, which I may have to do that pretty soon. Okay, what a week. Well, Trump was sentenced today. Now, obviously, this fucking Juan Merchan, they were just chomping at the bit to fucking sentence Trump, mainly because they just wanted to say that he was a convicted felon. They tried to vacate the Trump team tried to vacate the sentencing. They made an appeal to the state Supreme Court to get involved, the Supreme Court of the United States to get involved, and they were turned down. It was a little disappointing to see the Supreme Court of the United States not act in the best interest of the country, but that's because these fucking judges, they all look out for themselves. It was a 4-5 vote, and Amy Coney Barrett, who Trump appointed, sided with the majority. So, just goes to show you, this is what happens when you fucking DEI hire people. Okay? Anyhow, so Juan Merchan sentenced Trump to an unconditional release. Now, basically what that is, is he's being released from the court, but with the felony conviction, and there's no other conditions that go along with it. In other words, he doesn't have to serve any jail time, he doesn't have to pay any fines, he doesn't have to pay any restitution. They're basically just slapping a fucking felony conviction on him. And this just proves that alone, what he should have done was vacate the sentencing. If this guy had any fucking scruples whatsoever. Okay, because the whole thing was a sham, right? But the sentencing just proves that this was a bullshit case all along. No merit and just strictly lawfare, okay? They just, like I said, they just wanted to officially say he was a convicted felon, which is all bullshit because he won anyway by a fucking landslide. So eat it, you fucks, okay? And they said felons couldn't be presidents. Huh? This gives me hope. I may have a new career path now. Now that he's been sentenced, he'll fucking appeal, okay? And he'll pretty much win it on the appeal. And all of this becomes a colossal waste of fucking time and resources, okay? After he wins the appeal, what he should do is sue the city and state of New York for fucking restitution and defamation. And I don't give a shit if he bankrupts the fucking city and state, because that's the only way these assholes will fucking learn, okay? If he bankrupts the fucking state and the city, then I can pretty much guarantee you nobody's voting fucking Democrat in New York ever again. Okay? So he'd be doing us all a fucking favor. What else this week? Jimmy Carter's funeral was this week. Who gives a fuck? Everybody say, oh, he was such a good man. This guy was a fucking retard. Okay? He's a one-termer, just like Biden. Up until we had Joe Biden as president, Jimmy Carter was known as the absolute fucking worst president in U.S. history, okay? He almost destroyed the fucking country, okay? He caused an unbelievable fucking recession. He put us in the malaise era, okay? Because of Carter almost fucking destroyed the auto business in New York, okay? In the United States. So because of Carter, the late 70s, all they produced were fucking tin can pieces of shit that barely produced 100 horsepower. He had the muscle cars, back when cars were fucking like, there was something to behold. He almost destroyed the whole fucking country, okay? Thank God they elected Ronald Reagan and he fixed everything. And then we got Joe Biden, who basically almost plunged us into fucking World War III. Okay? Yeah. So, you know what? Good. He's dead. 100 years this motherfucker lasted. You know why? God don't want stupid. Right? So everybody's saying what a great man he was. And who gives a... My father, if he was alive, I'm sure my father was waiting by the fucking pearly gates for this motherfucker to come through. Probably grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and beat the shit out of him. Okay? He's gonna spend eternity getting the shit knocked out of him, this asshole. My father fucking hated him. Hated him. They hated him. He, like I said, he almost destroyed the fucking country in the 70s. So, you know what? Good, he's dead. Took long enough. Now, the only fucking good thing about this guy dying, aside from the fact that he croaked, is the show that this funeral put on. Okay, so all the ex-presidents and ex-VPs were right in the front. Okay, so this was fucking delightful. Now, they sat Obama next to Trump, and the camera cuts and Melania looks like she just wants to die. She's miserable as fuck. Okay, and Trump and Obama are having a conversation, and and Obama's laughing like they're both chuckling, which I guarantee you, I know what was happening. They were cracking Biden jokes. You know, Joe's a crapper. You might want to change all the upholstery when you get into the White House. Oh, I know. He shits himself all the time. We're going to change everything. I promise. Yeah, I guarantee they were cracking fucking Biden jokes and Kamala jokes the entire time. Kamala wouldn't turn around and look at anybody. Okay? They sat Kamala right in front of fucking Trump and Obama. She wouldn't turn around and look at either one of them. Okay? Matter of fact, they sat Biden and his wife next to Harris and her husband, and you could actually feel the fucking ice between Dr. Jill Biden and Kamala Harris. I'm starting to like Jill Biden a lot more than I used to. Okay? Because, I mean, this bitch wants to just turn around and fucking stab Harris in the fucking throat. So, you know, the best thing Jimmy Carter ever did as president or a post-president was die. So that way he could provide us with this entertainment. Elvis's birthday was Wednesday. That was nice. He would have been 90 years old. Could you imagine a 90-year-old Elvis Presley? Okay, it's, you know, everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that, even if you don't like it. I don't think I could handle a 90-year-old Elvis, let alone an 80-year-old Elvis. Anyway, some fucking jerk-offs vandalized his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Okay, they spray painted racist across it. Like people in California right now have a lot more to fucking worry about than the stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm just saying, okay? But of all people to spray racist on, Elvis didn't have a fucking racist bone in his body. He was so far from racist it wasn't even funny, okay? He grew up in the ghetto. He bought people Cadillacs, right? He was a good man. Okay? I mean, he had his fucking demons, I get it, but still, far from fucking racist. These are uninformed Gen Z jerk-offs. They should all be airdropped into a fire, which subsequently in California, you won't have too far to go. Oh, baby, it's cold outside. Well, this cold fucking snap this week, holy shit, it's like fucking Alaska outside. Today's not so bad, but you know what? Yesterday, I was ready to build an igloo and adopt a fucking polar bear. All right. What gets me is when it's like, you know, fucking -5 outside, and I go into Dunkin' Donuts and I see people drinking fucking iced coffee. Like, You can see, like, the minute you exhale, it turns into fucking ice. And you're drinking fucking iced coffee. I mean, well, they're all bundled up like they're going into fucking Antarctica, right? But they're drinking iced coffee. If you're drinking iced coffee in the middle of fucking winter, you're a fucking serial killer. Okay? Seriously. Okay? What are you doing? Okay? What you gotta really stop and ascertain what the fuck you're doing with your life, because you're doing it wrong, whatever it is. Okay? No wonder your fucking brains don't work. Okay? Oh, fucking retards. You know, but by drinking iced coffee in the winter, basically what you're doing is you're retarding your brain function. Therefore, you're vis-a-vis a retard. Now, what drives me nuts. Okay, now I'm an educated person. I know I sound like I just fell off of a fucking turnip truck, but still, I know what words mean. Okay, so when people get offended by words, I want to fucking take the palm of my hand and slap them right in the fucking throat, okay, and make their teeth click. Because you get these fucking. I don't like that word retard. I say retard all the time. I don't give a fuck. Okay, because it's not a bad word. It means to slow down. Look it up in a dictionary, you fucking momos. Okay, and when people, I don't like that word. First of all, it's a medical diagnosis. It's still in the physician's desk reference. I know I have one. Okay? So people want to use mentally challenged or mentally disabled. You're wasting time. You're using too many fucking words and phrases that I could use. One fucking word, I could sum up everything. Okay? Retarded. When people go, I don't like that word. You know what I do when they say that? I go, oh, you don't like that word? So I got to change the way I speak because you don't like something. I got a better solution. Do like this here, okay? You don't like the word retard? Go like that, all right? I go, and then guess what? You look retarded. You see what I did there? Fucking Momo fucks. Unbelievable. Speaking of retards, I saw, I'm walking to the gym. Not like from my house, because I parked my truck across the street. And I'm stopped on the corner, I see a guy, he's waiting for the fucking light, and he's lighting a joint. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. And you're sitting there, you're lighting a fucking joint. Now, is this necessary at 7 o'clock in the fucking morning? Seriously? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, people aren't retarded enough. Yeah, I said it again. Okay, legalizing this was obviously a great idea. Fantastic idea, you fuckfaces, okay? Because people aren't fucking dumb enough. Now, there's more people driving around. It occurred to me, there's more people driving around high than there are driving drunk. Now, usually, you could expect when to see drunk drivers. Friday night, Saturday night, holidays, shit like that, you're going to have a higher... granted, yeah, there's fucking like all-day alkies, but, at certain times, you could expect a higher ratio of drunk drivers on the road. But the sick truth of this is that almost all day, every day, there is a majority of people driving on the road that are high as fuck because they can't stop fucking smoking. They think because you legalized marijuana, I could just drive around high. I don't understand how you could operate a fucking motor vehicle stoned out of your skull. Like, if they're not smoking a joint, they're hitting their fucking pen, they're dropping gummies. Like, this was the stupidest fucking thing that anybody could ever legalize. People are high all the time. It was bad enough before when it was illegal. At least they had some fucking discretion. Now, they're just high all the time. And what these fucking mongoloids don't understand, because they've eradicated all their brain cells, is just because possession of marijuana is legal and smoking it is legal, driving while smoking marijuana is still a fucking crime because you're driving under the influence, you fucking retards, you. Oh boy, we're chocked full of fucking crazy today, so grab the lube and hold on to something, baby. This one's gonna hurt. Salud. Okay, kids, get your tickets out. We're about to hop onto that maniacal, magical express, and the mayhem and fuckery. The crazy train's about to leave the station. Oh, but woo-hoo! First stop, New York City. So congestion pricing went into effect this week. On top of that, they added a 4% MTA fare hike. Okay? So they made it too expensive. It's $9 extra. Extra. to go below 60th. Okay? Everything is below 60th. I mean, who the fuck is... You know what's above 60th Street? Harlem. Nobody's going up there. Okay? So everything below 60th... The 59th Street Bridge now has a fucking toll, all right? The 59th Street Bridge never had a toll. Now, if you're going through the Midtown Tunnel, whatever that charge is, add another $9 to it, okay? And then they have them all over, like, so in case you somehow get into the fucking city, like maybe you cut through Washington Heights, you cut through Harlem, and you come up below 60th, bang, there's another fucking toll right there. So, this was to reduce the amount of traffic in the city. Blow me. On top of that, they jacked the fucking MTA fares up 4%. So, like, now your Long Island Railroad ticket's going to cost 4% higher. This is the best. Fucking subway tolls are 4% higher. You got to pay for death. And then, of course, if you really want to take your life in your hands, the MTA buses, that's an additional 4%. So, and they said this is going to reduce traffic. Okay? You make your price. First of all, nobody's taking fucking mass transit. Okay, you take the Long Island Railroad into the city and you got to walk through Penn Station. It's like walking through a gauntlet of death. If you're taking the subway on a regular basis, you're really just flirting with the Grim Reaper. It's not a question of if something is going to happen to you. It's when, because there's absolutely no fucking. They're not doing anything to curtail any kind of criminal activity. Like, if they just started randomly shooting these fucking crazy homeless people, you'd see a lot of crime just stop. They won't do that. It's mean. It's racist. It's not nice, apparently. I'm a psychopath for even suggesting it. God forbid. But they think by increasing the fucking MTA fares by 4% and then charging you $9 to drive your vehicle. Imagine having to commute into the city every day. Maybe you drive your car into the city every day to commute for work, like firemen and police do. Now you got to pay extra money for that. Nice. Okay? Because, yeah, they don't get a fucking break. Yeah. I don't understand how this is supposed to reduce traffic. The money isn't going to go back into infrastructure. We all know this. It's going to go into everybody's fucking pocket. We're not stupid. Okay? Hochul is a dumb cunt. Because she's like, this is going to be great for the city. It's going to reduce traffic. It's going to improve the MTA. No, it's not. No, it's not. So, we pay taxes. And a lot, especially if you live in New York City, because you're paying a city tax on top of whatever your fucking normal taxes are, right? State, local, you pay state, federal, and now if you live in the 5 boroughs or whatever, you're paying a city tax. Those taxes are supposed to go to infrastructure, and they're supposed to go towards, shit like this, okay? So that they don't have to charge an additional fee. They have no qualms about hiking your fucking taxes up. They never reduce them. So taxes have gone up, and then on top of that, there's an additional fucking fee. So it's now at the expense of the fucking taxpayer, even though we're already fucking paying for this shit. Okay, this is what I don't get. And everybody's like, this is nice. Thankfully, somebody with balls in New Jersey, the state of New Jersey filed a fucking lawsuit. Hopefully it'll put a stay on this, but it didn't. I don't know what's happening with that, but yeah, it's a fucking disaster. And people are already using ghost plates now to fucking drive in and out of the city and not get charged. And they're driving the fucking MTA nuts. Good for them. This is why I love criminal activity. Next stop, Washington, D.C. So Vice President Kamala Harris, okay, had to certify the election that she lost horribly. She had to certify the results of the fucking election and basically proclaim Donald Trump president. If that's not a final kick to the clit, I don't know what is. She probably drowned herself in a fucking quart of Tito's afterwards and then threw up violently for 7 hours. I'm guessing she probably shit herself too. Poor Dougie Fresh probably found her passed out on the floor in a puddle of her own piss, vomit all over her hair, and her pants full of curry-laced shit. And yet, he was sitting next to her at Carter's funeral. Now that's love and devotion. Next stop, Canada. So Justin Trudeau resigned as the Prime Minister of Canada. I guess he didn't want to be the governor of the 51st state. Oh well, sucks for you. Next up, we got a lot of stops today on the Crazy Train. This is what happens when you have a 12-minute episode the week before. So next stop, Mar-a-Lago. So Trump gave a fucking press conference. He's been doing press conferences all week, this guy. He's not even president yet. Okay, he's like a machine. It's great. So he gave a press conference and he addressed the fact that he wants to buy Greenland. And he basically said, he's not, he's not leaving out using, some military force if necessary. He's basically telling Denmark, he's basically giving Denmark an offer they can't refuse. He's like, I want to buy Greenland, okay? Because it's a question of national security. Fun fact, Panama Canal's a different story, but China, the Panama Canal runs through that, and he wants to buy it mainly because you got a lot of Chinese, depending on which end of the fucking canal you're on, right? You would think you were in China, so it's a matter of national security. So that's basically how he phrased it to Denmark. He basically made them an offer they can't refuse. He's not opposed to using military strength if necessary. He even sent Donnie Jr. over to Greenland to kind of feel them out. They're all for it, okay? But yeah. He also threatened to unleash holy hell on Hamas if all the fucking hostages weren't released by or before January 20th. Man, this is going to be fun watching this shit. Trump's out of his mind. I love it. Fucking love it. And final stop, you knew we were going here, California. So Cali is on fire again. Unless you've been living under a rock all week long, all you've been hearing about are these wildfires in Pasadena and the Pacific Palisades. Hey, God don't like liberals. What can I tell you? I'm not making fun of this because it's obviously a tragedy. Listen, I don't. Hollywood liberals that lost their fucking mansions in the Pacific Palisades, I'm not losing sleep over. James Woods' house did burn down, and he's a MAGA supporter, so I feel bad for him. Billy Crystal also lost his house. As much as I like Billy Crystal, he's a liberal, give a fuck. But I do feel bad for people, like the average people, because it's not all millionaires, it's a mixed community. But the reason that this is all happening is poor fucking government in the state. This is what happens when you fucking elect morons like they do in California. When the whole fucking state is run by liberal jerk-offs, this is the kind of shit that happens, okay? The same people that think paper straws are going to save the fucking world, right? These are the shit. So let me explain. First of all, nobody knows exactly how the fire started. I can pretty much tell you, probably a homeless person. That's usually how these fucking things start. Because there's a huge homeless population in California, because God forbid we lock them up. They have rights too. Yeah, the people that shit their pants on a regular basis and live on the sidewalk have rights. Okay, so we can't take them off the sidewalk and put them somewhere or drown them because it's a human rights violation thing for the homeless. So they go into the woods and they probably make a fire to keep warm or something, and they drink a fucking 40 Old English, pass out, fire gets out of control. It's windy. They have these fucking gale force, these strong Santa Ana winds, and then that's how these fucking brush fires start, and they spread. Now, they're unable to control the fires because there's not enough fucking water in the goddamn fire hydrants. This is a Governor Newsom problem. Holy shit. Apparently, he refused. There was a bill that he was supposed to sign, which they're denying, but it's not. I Googled it. I forgot what the hell it's called now. But basically, they were going to divert overflow of water to reservoirs, reserve reservoirs for situations such as this. And he refused to sign the bill because it would endanger some fish that nobody eats. To appease the wildlife and preserve fucking retards, he didn't sign it. So now California is on fire. The mayor of Los Angeles, another fucking DEI hire, Okay, she cut the fire department's budget by $17.5 million because she said, and I quote, that fire departments are usually too white. So she didn't want to provide any additional funding to hire new fire people. I'm being politically correct. Instead, she provided them with, the state of California provided $200 million in resources for DEI programs. Okay, this is what they're focused on in California, DEI. And clearly, obviously, it was a fucking wonderful suggestion because look what's happening. This is a state that has a fire season, an actual fire season, and you do nothing to put water reserves in place, and you're cutting funding to the fire department. Okay, they refuse to buy them another fucking helicopter, a fire truck helicopter, basically, because again, wasn't necessary, but they threw $200 million towards fucking DEI initiatives. This is Democrat mismanagement at its finest. And because of the Democrat mismanagement, this has even caused insurance companies to pull out of the state. So a lot of these structures that are being destroyed are uninsured. Why? Because what happened was they put a cap on how much insurance companies could charge individuals, but at the same time, they put all these fucking environmental nonsense. And like all these buildings have to, like anything that's any new construction or any kind of rehabilitated construction has to adhere to all of these new environmental guidelines, this green initiative, which inflates the cost of construction. On top of the fact that because Biden jacked up the fucking price of fuel, all construction costs went up about 25% anyway. So now all of these environmental things add another 30-40% in cost, and the insurance companies can't increase their premiums to offset the cost, so they just said, you know what, fuck it, we're done, and they bailed. So there's a lot of insurance companies that just flat out redlined, and apparently that's okay in California, another fucking problem, and a lot of these structures are uninsured. So there, little boring insurance information for you. So yay, California. This is what happens when you hire. See, DEI is a fucking dangerous thing. This is what happens when you don't hire people who are qualified for the job. Instead, you give it to some unqualified fucking retard, okay, who doesn't belong there in the first place. They can barely function at the DMV level, and you put them in a fucking high-level position like mayor or governor, or like something like that. And this is the shit that happens, okay? This DEI thing was and I said it 4 years ago. But because of DEI and all the censorship and bullshit, every time I said it, they shut my channel down. Now, effective immediately, all these social media companies have dumped all DEI initiatives. So I can say this shit now, and hopefully they won't take the channel down. Knock on wood. Okay, kids, your sports update, NFL. So the fucking regular season is over. Of course, the Giants lost their last game. Big surprise there. And if you thought there'd be some, like, real major overhaul with the New York Giants, don't get your hopes up because they decided to keep Dable and show it. They took a fucking team that was playoff ready and in a couple of years absolutely destroyed it. Dable had a good year last year, I think. Well, I wouldn't even say a good year, but at least they got him into the fucking playoffs. They won 3 fucking games all year. Okay? 3 fucking games. And 3-15. Or 3-14. Okay? Disgrace. If I failed at my job that miserably, I would not have a job come the next day. They kept these 2 fucking turds thinking something marvelous is going to happen between them and the 3rd round draft pick. The comedian Vic DiBitetto made the best analogy about the 3rd round draft pick with these 2. It's like taking a Tic Tac and dropping it down a homeless woman's pants and thinking that that's going to erase the fucking months and years of just... I mean, he put it a little bit more eloquently than that, but go ahead, watch it. It's fucking hilarious. Anyway, Jets are looking for a new head coach. They interviewed Rex Ryan, which I have mixed emotions about this. I was not a big Rex Ryan fan. I don't like the guy. I think he's a jerk off. However, he was the last coach to bring them to the playoffs. Okay, and then subsequently they imploded after that. But that's the Jets for you. So I don't know. He seems confident that he'll get the job. I don't know who else they're interviewing. I mean, yeah, he's kind of right. He is the best candidate, but we'll see what happens next year. Anyway, the fucking playoffs are here. Your first round is the wild card, and that starts Saturday. So you line up the Saturdays, the Chargers and Texans at 4:20, and the Steelers and Ravens at 8 o'clock. Sunday's lineup is Broncos and Bills at 1, Packers and Eagles at 4:30, and Washington and Tampa Bay at 8 o'clock. And Monday, you got the Vikings and Rams at 8 o'clock. NHL, Rangers play the Vegas Golden Knights Saturday at 10 o'clock. Islanders play the Utah Hockey Club at 9 o'clock. When the fuck did Utah get a hockey team? I had to read this like 3 fucking times. I thought I was literally losing my fucking mind. I said, did I go senile or something? What the fuck happened? Okay, I mean, the Utah Hockey Club? When did this happen? So, of course, they had to Google. Utah got a hockey team last April. On April 14th of 2024, they were approved for hockey. I don't know if they played any games because I don't recall ever seeing the Utah Hockey Club. Okay? I thought they were going to go play a girls' team and, like, kick them all in the fucking twat or something. I became concerned. I was like, do I have to make another doctor's appointment? Am I having cognitive issues now? Okay, seriously. So yeah, apparently Utah now has a hockey team. Who knew Mormons liked hockey? All right, NBA, Knicks and Thunder tonight at 7:30. Nets and Nuggets tonight at 9 o'clock. And Bulls and Wizards tonight at 8. So, you know, if you have a basketball fetish this evening, there you go. All right, on Tommy's Pub and Grub review. Now, yeah, I didn't go anywhere again. It's too fucking cold, but I do have some Pub and Grub reviews. A friend of mine has spent the last 2 weeks in Italy. And they were sending me, like, pictures of shit. Mostly the food. And they went to this... the two of my friends. They went to this... He texted me. It was a picture of a sushi menu. I'm like, what the fuck is this? They were in Naples. And they went for sushi. Look, let me get this straight. You're in the motherland. They got a title of Italian food, I guess. And I'm laughing because the fucking menu is in Italian and Japanese. They were telling me that they call the dumplings ravioli. I'm like, I'm reading it. I'm like, I understand because I can read Italian. I'm like, I said, are you having difficulty deciphering the menu? They're like, yes, we can't read Japanese or Italian. Help. So I thought it was pretty interesting. I never really, like, you never think of that, right? Like, you think of Italy, you think Italian food. Who thinks of, like, fucking Japanese food or Chinese food? Or they even went to, like, an Irish pub in Italy. I thought I was innovative because I was the only Guinea in the world who had a fucking Irish bar in Queens. But, yeah, apparently, they have Irish pubs in Italy, too. I guess there's Irish people wandering around Italy going, what's going on here? You know, I mean, who the hell knows? But yeah, you never think of that. It just goes to show you. Like, I mean, I guess they have Italian restaurants in China, too. I mean, who knows? Also on Tommy's Pub and Grub Review, I got some sad news. George Martin Grill Fire in Merrick, it's right on Sunrise Highway, announced that they will be closing permanently. I think this is their last weekend, or they'll be closing by the 15th. I like this place. It's, you know, it's nothing, it's like... kind of like upscale casual. It's a bar and grill. It's a glorified bar and grill. This used to be one of my favorite restaurants, Nick D'Angelo's Steakhouse, back in the day. But that was maybe over 20 years ago because it's been George Martin's for about 20 years now. So I don't know what happened. Circumstances beyond the ownership's control. I thought they owned the building. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But yeah, they're closing. So if you planned on going to George Martin's, find a new place. On what the fuck is that? We're going to talk about tongue selfies. So this is like a fucking pet peeve of mine. First of all, when I see like girls at a bar or something, like I noticed this. I was having dinner on fucking New Year's and I noticed this. And I see it periodically. When girls are taking a selfie of themselves and doing this with their tongue. Sticking their tongue out. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You look retarded. You know who sticks their tongue out? Retards. Like, if you took a picture of retarded kids on a school bus, they're all licking the fucking windows. Well, what do you do? Like, is this supposed to be sexy? Like, I don't. Is that what, like, is, you know, what, and it's not just young people. Like, usually it is, but like I saw like older women doing it, and I'm like, I'm like, you look like you're in the middle of a stroke, lady. Are you okay? Like, do you need me to call somebody for you? Like, what the fuck? How is this attractive? Like, if you find a girl doing that attractive, you really need to, like, sit yourself down and, like, take an account of what you're doing wrong in your life. Like, whatever it is, it ain't good. Okay? Just say it. All right, kids, your PSA. You know, sometimes I'm out and about and I see things. And I think to myself, you know, I shouldn't have to say this because it's pretty much common sense. But apparently there's a distinct and disturbing lack of common sense in the world, which is why we have a PSA on the Friday wrap-up. So today's PSA is this. Fat people shouldn't wear brown. It makes you look like the fucking poop emoji. Okay? Stay COVIDless, kids. No mask, don't ask. Haters can kiss my ass. And remember, who loves you, babe? That's been your Friday wrap-up, and I'll see you when I see you.